welcome to Capital View. Yes, the Modi government completes 1 year in office this week. And we're asking the question, has this 1 year been a year of hope and growth, as the government says it has, or has it been a year of missed opportunities, as the opposition is saying? We have a special editors panel on Capital View in this episode. Joining me, N. Ram of The Hindu, Prabhu Chawla of the New Indian Express, and Kumar Ketkar of the daily Divya Marathi. Thanks everyone very much indeed for being here. First to you, Kumar Ketkar, is 1 year simply too short a time to judge a government? And secondly, what do you think the main achievement has been?
Well, actually in the past 68 years, there have been so many governments which completed 1 year at every end of their term, first year term. And so this is the first time that 1 year has become so much a brouhaha about media. And I think there is no question of talking its achievements or non-achievements of just 1 year, because 12 months can't really do anything. But as far as the hope is concerned, I never had any specific hope from this government.
Prabhu Chawla, 200 public meetings, Jan Sampark Abhiyan, social media outreach. This government is going all out to celebrate 1 year. Is this a welcome attempt at communicating with the public, or is it simply propaganda?
You see, communication is the DNA of Modi government. He is the best communicator, he is the best marketeer. So he has to sell his ideas, the implementation of his team in a way which unprecedented manner. The kind of meetings he addressed before the election and the way he has been speaking non-stop during the last 1 year, you can imagine that he wants to convey his words. He wants his words to speak louder than his work. That is what his strategy has been, and he has succeeded, because you don't get any discerning voices which don't agree with him much more heard in the media space. We all hear only Modi or his minister. So he has succeeded in conveying what he has been doing for the country, what he is doing for others, what he is doing for his party, what he is doing for his constituents. So I think you can call it propaganda, but I would say that it is style of functioning, that he wants to be bigger than the country and bigger than the institutions.
Mr. N. Ram, are there no substantive achievements at all? After all, the insurance bill has been passed, the GST bill is on the table, the 14th Finance Commission has devolved 42% of the divisive pool of finances to states. So, is it fair to say that there's been no substantive achievement whatsoever, that the economy is all doom and gloom?
I don't think it's all gloom and doom, because the economy is clearly going to a higher growth path. But on the ground, if you talk to investors and business persons in private, I think you hear a very different song from what is mostly sung in public, which is very positive and euphoric and even sycophantic, I'd say. But the real, the investment sentiment, I think, is not very good, for reasons that experts will have to look at. And I think the Prime Minister early on made too much of the slogan of Make in India. You saw what Raghuram Rajan's, RBI Governor Raghuram Rajan's take on it as an economist, that it can't be just Make in India, because that time has passed. You can't have just an export-led growth strategy with key inputs being subsidized by the government and being offered very cheap. You've got to manufacture more. That's important for various reasons, including providing employment, jobs. But you also got to do other things, and it's got to be a much more nuanced and balanced strategy.
So Mr. Modi seems to be dominating not only the government but also the Sangh Parivar. So his dominance at this stage is almost complete.
Actually, you can see very clearly, as London economists said, it is a one-man band. And that one-man band is playing so much now and so loudly that even the RSS feels completely finding itself to be deafening. And therefore, there are complaints from RSS, Bharatiya Mazdoor Sangh, there are complaints from the Bharatiya Kisan Sangh, there are complaints from the Sangh itself.
Swaminathan Iyer recently wrote that stopping big graft or crony capitalism has been the biggest achievement of the Modi government in this 1 year. He's saying, in fact, that Reliance Industries of Mr. Mukesh Ambani, which is supposed to be very close to Narendra Modi, has seen just 1% rise in its stock since the start of 2014. Adani Enterprises too, again, Mr. Adani is supposed to be close to Narendra Modi, that also has been outperformed by dozens of other stocks in the stock market. So it seems as if Ambani and Adani are not doing that well under Narendra Modi. So he has, in a sense, tackled big graft. Would you agree with that?
No, you see, when the economy is not doing well, how can the industry do well? That is a good question. You can't isolate one industry. So, okay, Adani is not doing, Ambani is not doing, therefore, it is no crony capitalism. It is because the economy is not doing well. You have been speaking too much. Deficit is under control. Yes, it is under control because petroleum product prices have come down by 50%. You have slashed expenditure on various social schemes. You are not spending money. Public spending has come down. Crude imports have come down. Exports are not going up. They are down by 28%. So, because the economy is not, there is no demand in the economy. There is no consumption increasing. How can you expect Adani or Ambani to grow up? You see, the tone and tenor of the government has been pro-business. Every minister is talking about ease in doing business, because most of the ministers are talking only in terms of interest rate reductions. The language and narrative of the state government, of the government and its important ministers have been pro-business. That's why it is given an impression of promoting only capital markets, only investment. For example, LSI invested 9,000 crore rupees in this market. When the FIRs were withdrawing, capital markets was being given funds by the State Bank of India. It means that this government, the way it is behaving itself, the way they are speaking about it, they are only looking like that they are looking after only business interests, not about the common interest. Therefore, Modi did the right thing by speaking the language of the common man when he addressed yesterday in Mathura. So he has realized that he has to speak the language of Aam Aadmi. But
right.
his ministers are
he
still
has to speak
speaking
the
about
language of the
big
Aam
reforms
Aadmi
and whatnot. That is what the impression is being created. That is a pro-business government.
Isn't that the issue, Ram? Because the 5 crore jobs in 5 years that Modi promised during the campaign, that seems to have been revealed as an election jumla. Where are the 5 crore jobs?
Yeah, I think it's just gone out of the window. It's one of those election promises. He probably believed in it at the time, but today I think there's no measurement of this, and there's no, they don't have the ways and means to do it. So I don't take that promise too seriously. But other governments have also made tall promises. So this is one of them. But it's out of the window so far as I'm concerned.
Kumar Ketkar, would you say that foreign policy is Modi's greatest success? 18 countries visited in 1 year, that huge connect with the NRIs. Is foreign policy his biggest success?
No, I don't think he can visit 24 countries in 12 months. That's not the issue. How many countries he visits does not determine the nature of the foreign policy. As far as China is concerned, what has he actually achieved? If anybody reads Kanta Vajpayee's article in Times of India on Saturday, it is clear that he has achieved nothing in China. Forget the question of Arunachal Pradesh. He has not been able to solve the border issue. China has been able to solve its border issues with 10 other countries which surround China, and 11th is India. India has not been able to sort out. And where is the investment going to come from China? In what sector? He has not discussed Tibet, he has not discussed Arunachal, he has not discussed actual specific sectors where China will invest. Actually, China will get the Indian market. And forget the electronic visa that was supposed to be given, e-visa that was supposed to be given. China has not announced that e-visa also. So China foreign policy is nothing like China policy towards China. And towards America, what has he actually done, except calling Obama so personalized that Barack, and he calling in Time magazine Narendra. Beyond that so-called bonhomie, what has he actually achieved in terms of foreign policy interests? I mean,
there's no real achievement. Prabhu Chawla, there's no real achievement in foreign policy.
No, I think foreign policy is a very good achievement. The endorsement of Mr. Modi's government is very much there. There is everybody talking in terms, even Obama has to write an article, introduction to a timepiece, which has he written in the past against, in favor of any other leader. I think Chinese are after us, Americans are after us, Russians are seeking us, Germans are seeking us. I think in terms of global acceptability, we are really a notch better than many countries. I think you have to concede that Modi, whatever the reason may be, maybe they are looking at our market, but they have found a leader who has got the mandate of the people after 30 years. So therefore, they respect democratic institutions, and Sushma Swaraj has done a wonderful good job because she is low profile. She is the maximum, she has traveled almost 100 countries during the last 1 year, and nobody talks about her. It is her work which is behind the curtain, which is paying dividends to us.
Very good
point. We are much more acceptable.
Very underestimated minister,
therefore,
the
I think foreign policy we have done
Swaraj.
much better.
Right. Let me put that to you, Ram. You know, the Yemen rescue mission, the relief operations in Nepal. Do you think that the foreign outreach of the Modi government has been something that India can be proud of?
Yes, absolutely. They did extremely well. The government did extremely well, as did all the other arms of the state, which brought this off. Superb efforts, I'd say. And I would also mention you know, what the Prime Minister has been doing in the area of foreign policy, in particular with neighbors. Sri Lanka and China, which I follow closely, stand out for me. But we need to do more to improve relations with Pakistan. Perhaps some of the old prejudices should go on both sides. And Mr. Modi can do well to follow, you know, Prime Minister Vajpayee's example in this. And also, I think he has a lot to learn from Mr. Advani, who also made his own contribution to improving relations with Pakistan in his time when he spoke about Jinnah's secular speech and so on. So I think these things should be built upon, but we need to do more. But here, yes, I think there are positive things.
Kumar, Ketkar, let's come back again to the point that Prabhu Chawla was raising about the slogans and whether they're being implemented on the ground. Now, the three main programs, Swachh Bharat, Make in India, Jan Dhan Yojana. Do you think these are all slogans, or has anything at all happened on the ground?
I think they are just sort of window dressing for the public and going on the television. I'll tell you one very simple point. There are corporations which are in charge of cleaning cities, and there are gram panchayats which are in charge of cleaning villages. Now, those gram panchayats and those corporations have a regular staff for cleaning Mumbai or cleaning Pune or whatever cities. Now, that staff works in horribly, absolutely miserable conditions. Going into drainages, garbage is increasing, and despite defecating public all over, the garbage clearance in Mumbai or in many cities has become so horrible and so unhealthy, so unhygienic. But the staff is not well paid, staff is not properly coordinated, there is no management of the sanitary staff, there is no management of the entire garbage clearance staff, and how can you suddenly say that Mumbai is going to be clean? I tell you, not even an iota of cleanliness has taken place as far as Mumbai is concerned or Pune is concerned. In fact, garbage has gone up. Point is, how do you solve the problems of hygiene and cleanliness without having a system? It is not holding a broom and showing to the world through the television channels that you are actually interested in cleaning cities or cleaning villages. I think that's complete sheer propaganda. As far as Jan Dhan is concerned, 70% of the accounts do not have a single paisa according to banking people. Moreover, every bank has been told to open accounts. That means create more work for the staff. There are so many banks with only 2 or 3 people in so many districts or taluka places. Now they don't have staff and they are asked to open the accounts and there is no money in it. So I think all the Jan Dhan and Swachh Bharat, I think perhaps Narendra Modi himself knows in his heart that what he is doing is merely propaganda and actually nothing. And he has come to believe that propaganda wins elections, propaganda means popularity, but I think both will soon bomb. Propaganda does not mean popularity and propaganda does not mean campaigning for good work.
Right. Mr. N. Ram, your comments on Jan Dhan Yojana, Swachh Bharat and Make in India, all slogans or any substantive achievement on the ground?
I think this Clean India campaign is a good thing, but perhaps the priority, it was put right at the top of the list, and I read in one poll that that's what people appreciate because they've talked a lot about it. There's been messaging. But India is no cleaner than this, and the project of cleaning the Ganga, I think, is going to be very formidable, and the Rajiv Gandhi government failed to do it, and I don't think this government really knows how to do it. But Make in India, I have serious, as a single point slogan, as an obsession, I think has to be criticized, the way put in perspective, and I think Raghuram Rajan, the RBI governor, has really done that. Put it in the current context and the current time also, that what China did in an earlier period is not replicable by India. We don't have the time is different, and also we don't have the wherewithal to do it. But make more in India, manufacture more in India, do more indigenization, step up your innovation, your industrialization. These are good things, technological development, if you can do it. But it doesn't come just from policies of the government. It goes much beyond that. But I think, there's been some action on the ground, but the gap between what has been promised, the slogans, and the ground reality is huge and will surely widen.
Prabhu Chawla, let me get your views on that. Swachh Bharat, Jan Dhan Yojana and Make in India. Are these all just slogans and propaganda?
No, I don't think they are slogans or propaganda. They are the missions. I think he means them. when he talks about Swachh Bharat, because when we go abroad, everybody talks about how bad and ugly India is. I think that's a good thing, involving people to keep the country clean. You can clean
But
your
is there
home,
any visible change? Is there any
no,
visible change?
I don't see. Yes, I agree with you, because what he's using, the method of implementation is bad. Because stars can't give you Swachh India, because ever since they were nominated ambassador for Swachh India, how many of them have gone to the ground and picked up the jadu again? I don't see them. Because that was the wrong policy, getting endorsement from the classes and forgetting the masses. But
Right.
you can't blame the message then. The message is that you must have a clean India so that it can get better tourists, it can get better attraction. Therefore, this is not a slogan. I think he wants to inculcate the spirit of cleanliness in India, because India was becoming dirty. You
Right.
can't say it is a slogan, it is not a slogan, but only implementation that Modi is surrounded by people who are comfortable with the classes, who are comfortable with Delhi walas, Bombay walas type, and he has to get out of that thing.
Right. So he's actually surrounded by the classes, but he's trying to reach out to the masses. But we must tell you that the popularity ratings of the Prime Minister continue to be high. He's continually scoring above 60% popularity. So perhaps the achievements may not be that great, but his popularity levels indicate that voters are still giving him the benefit of the doubt. Let's take a short break and come back with lots more on the other side. Welcome back to Capital View. Yes, the Modi government has completed 1 year. We are asking, a year of missed opportunities or a year of hope and growth? Mr. N. Ram, do you believe that in fact the public is still giving the benefit of doubt to Mr. Narendra Modi? Because as I said in the previous segment, his popularity ratings continue to be rather high.
Well, I think different polls have come up with different findings, but what stands out is he leads still, and the huge gains the BJP and he had made, the Parivar had made, are still considerably intact. But there has been some erosion seen in particular areas, and I see it very much in the south, for example. There has been clear erosion, and the BJP, and whatever effect or the effect of the Modi wave that washed across Tamil Nadu and Andhra Pradesh and so on, I think that's receded. Rahul Gandhi has indeed made a comeback after a period of absence. I think he's come back with ideas, and particularly his mobilization and his speeches on the land acquisition bill have been quite effective and even powerful. No way that the BJP would get a majority today if elections were held.
There's no way that the BJP will get a majority today if elections were held. Kumar, Ketkar?
Rahul is too young administratively, politically than Narendra Modi, and therefore comparing Rahul and Narendra Modi itself, according to me, is rather odd comparison. It doesn't gel. If Narendra Modi claims that governance is so important, there is no information commissioner, there is no vigilance commissioner. They had promised Lokpal. Lokpal has not come. They had promised CBI autonomy. CBI autonomy has not come. So many appointments in IITs and so many institutions have not taken place. And this is governance.
Is agriculture, let me put that, is agriculture and farmer the big black hole of this government?
Kisans are becoming poorer and poorer, and they're depending on less and less income. Therefore, agriculture growth, they have not spent a single penny on developing the infrastructure in agriculture area. Rural areas and agriculture development, investment in agriculture sector is not happening at all. 1% investment in agriculture sector can bring you at least 3% extra growth rate, but that doesn't happen because the government machinery has been taken over since 1991 in the name of reforms by all the people who believe in only market economy. Invest in market, promote the market, promote IT, everybody MBAs will take over. Look at the finance ministry. From 91 till 2015, all the people who have gone to World Bank, they come back here to decide what will be the economic direction of the country. They go back to the World Bank when the government goes out of power. Even today, the finance ministry is controlled by people who have studied abroad. You have the people who have never seen the village. I don't think anybody who has not seen Muzaffarnagar should be allowed to be serving in the finance ministry.
It's an over-centralized setup. The Prime Minister is extremely active, hyperactive if you like, in India and abroad, but he doesn't have an A-team. And there are a few people with some talent and experience, but it doesn't look like a balanced team effort by any means. As a result of all the decisions coming onto the plate of Prime Minister Modi, he's supposed to be decisive, but they're unable to decide on key things. and the government is behind in its schedule.
Arun Shourie spoke of the Trimurti that is ruling the BJP. Is Mr. Narendra Modi doing to the BJP what Indira Gandhi did to the Congress?
Well, I don't like even that comparison because it's totally misplaced comparison. If Narendra Modi is one-man band, according to economists, Arun Shourie calls it a three-man band. But the question is not that. Question is what is happening to those very, very important organizations. And that is the politics. That is the main politics. Is Narendra Modi afraid of Lokpal? Is Narendra Modi afraid of autonomous CBI? Is Narendra Modi afraid of Central Vigilance Commission?
Amit Shah is now the president of the party. You must give one credit to him that he has got the maximum numbers of members there, though most of them may not have voted for them in Calcutta Municipal Corporation elections. That's a different issue. But he is the most active president party has ever got it. But at the same time, he has not been able to create his own party forums. For example, parliamentary board has not been reconstituted. Most of the general secretary posts, like Kumar were talking about, posts lying vacant in the government. The posts of BJP office bearers are also lying vacant for the last, say, 7-8 months. So they have not been able to fill it because the elections probably are due in January, when Amit Shah is likely to get more regular term of 4 years. He is on a part-time post at the moment. But what is happening? Yes, concentration of power is right now in Amit Shah. I have seen almost 12 BJP president or 13 BJP president as a journalist. I have seen many more before that as Jansangh president also. Never before the BJP president had been so inaccessible to the cadre as he is. He is the most powerful president because he derives his power from the powerful prime minister who comes from the same state. What Arun Shourie is talking about troika from one state only, because Arun Jaitley by and large may be living in Delhi and talking to all the Delhi walas, but he is basically an MP from Gujarat. Amit Shah is all Gujarat, Modi is also from Gujarat. These are the three people who are sitting there, and the fourth people who were on the stage. For example, Mr. Advani, he was also from Gujarat. You have to go back to the Bangalore session of the BJP, where the first time in the history of BJP National Executive Meeting, there were no parliamentary board member on the stage. Only 3 people are sitting on the stage throughout the day. So, but at the same time, you can't take away from Amit Shah that he has activated the party, but whether this party can win an election later on, because creating number record doesn't mean that you're getting the voters as well. Congress party was the largest single party in terms of membership, but it didn't get 44 seats. So that's what I'm talking about it. But I'm coming back to the original slogan of Mr. Modi, that he will give minimum government and maximum governance. That is what is not being implemented at the moment. There may not be GOMs now, but there are more committees in this government than there ever were in the previous government. For example, you have got an ex-CBI director advising the finance ministry. You have got a role builder inviting the Gadkari ministry. You have got somebody else who is in the same, there are about 30-40 panels committee working in the various ministries. Railway ministry alone has got 4 different panels looking the same thing. I think there is some lack of direction somewhere. Modi means business, but somehow the implementation level is very weak, which is not happening, and he has to pay attention there and pay attention to the party as well.
Right, so the implementation is weak, and you make a very interesting point about the missing office bearers within the BJP. We're at the end of the program. I'm going to ask all you 3 gentlemen to rate this government and give me a one-line reason as to why you give this score. Kumar, Ketkar, out of 10, how much would you give this government and why?
I will give 0 to this government because he does not understand what India is. I am not talking about idea of India. I am talking about the reality of India. Reality of India is not 125 crore people. These 125 crore people are divided into peasantry, into working class, into unorganized working class, into urban lower middle class, and also the corporate class. He does not understand that this is a fantastic India in which there are 5,000 castes and 25,000 subcastes and so many religions. He doesn't understand the meaning of inclusiveness, and that's why I will give him 0.
Okay. Mr. N. Ram?
I'll give it 3 to 4 to be very, very fair and objective, largely because of what they've done in the area of foreign policy in Sri Lanka, where I think the visit has gone down very well, the Modi visit. China, which had the 2-way visits and they were excellent, and also some other visits in East Asia. So I think they've done quite well on this in this area, and we need to strengthen good relations with neighbors, in particular countries like Pakistan, Sri Lanka and China. And I think here the government deserves some credit, I think.
So on foreign policy, because of foreign policy, you would give him 3 to 4 out of 10. Mr. Prabhu Chawla, how many marks out of 10 and why?
I will give 7 out of 10 to this government because this is the first government which is a decisive government. We have got the strong leadership. First time the Prime Minister's authority has been restored in the country, and I can see in India's prestige abroad has gone up. You have 7.5% growth going in the country. So all these good signs are coming up. There is a definitive agenda for change happening in the thing, and the foundation for a prosperous India has been laid down. The question is, implementation is very bad. Dialogue between the other opposition is very weak. There is a confrontationist approach which is happening. Because of that, the consensus is not building up. Because of that, I am taking away 3 marks out of that. This government is heading towards confrontation rather than consensus building. That should be stopped. Otherwise, in every other field, this government is doing very well.
Okay, so that's it on Capital View for this week. 0 on 10, 3 on 10 and 7 on 10. That's our editors panel on the 1 year of Modi government. Thanks so much for watching. We're back next week.
Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/ETNow and don't forget to click the like button. You can also follow us on Twitter at ETNowLive. To stay updated with all our programming, hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel by logging on to youtube.com/user/ETNow.